Hello everyone and welcome to another Forza Motorsport Multiplayer Mayhem. This time on Watkins Glen International Raceway with the BMW M8 GTE. Let's jump right into it. This was my first practice lap and one of my first overall laps on this track, since this is the first game I play where this track is featured. So I don't have that much experience on this track. But now with the M8 I'm quite fine, because I've set it up for like, let's say, 1 hour. So this track is perfect for my new setup. I've set up everything on Suzuka, which is quite a bit different, but the overall setup is, for my driving style, pretty good for every track you use in the Forza GT Series, or I don't know how it's called, I think it's Forza GT Series. And yeah, it works just very good. The first 2 laps on the qualifying session are already done. They were not that fast, to be honest, but as I said, I may miss some experience. But this 3rd lap is actually quite decent. I'm still losing a lot of time in many corners because I don't have the confidence yet, at least. But I mean, with the car, with the M8, I've done like 4 laps on this track. So in the practice session and 2 in the qualifying session this time. And I'm already in P4, so it's quite fine, I think. Yeah, and there we're going for the last corner to see where I'm going to start in the race, and half a second up, and this is enough for P2. So this should also be my final position for the race. 1:46.9. I still think that I can improve at least 2.5 seconds when I'm going to practice a little bit more. And there is the whole starting track, or the starting line. Setting up the tires and the fuel a little bit, so everything is prepared for the race. And there we go. The race is about to start. And keep your eye on the Corvette. The guy, or whoever sits in the Corvette, has a pretty decent start. Got a little run on me, and in the first corner you can already see the tires are maybe not warm at the race start. I wasn't sure at all, or I'm still not sure, because I haven't checked it yet, if the tires are heating up before the race. That's why we are struggling a tiny bit for grip. But I'm already back on the rear of the C8 Corvette, and I'm trying to overtake him, but unfortunately this is going to happen. I think I left him enough room, but he pushed me way too wide and I crashed into Formula Car, or Formula Kart 399 or something, 3399. And that's why I'm trying to do the L switcheroo, but there's another C8 Corvette which pushed me a tiny bit too wide, and again, he doesn't give me enough space. He just turned in way too much in my opinion, so I lost even more time. But I'm trying to stay at the back of this car. Now accelerating out of this corner, probably because of my new, let's say, differential setup, which made a big difference at the corner exit. This corner I've messing up like every time, because it literally is my nemesis. And another nemesis is this C8 Corvette. Don't know what he's trying to do. He's like, it's just silly in my opinion. So I'm back to P9. Out of how many cars are there? 22? No, aren't that much. That many. But I'm getting the run on the Audi R8. Catching up with the... Is it the Aston Martin? I guess it's the Aston Martin. Yes. Catching up. Already leaving the Audi R8 behind. And now I have 8.6 seconds or 8.6 seconds gap to the leader. But I'm catching up with the Aston Martin quite quickly. I touched him a tiny bit because, I don't know, he was struggling so horrible in this corner. Usually it's completely flat out, but I guess his setup isn't as good or even changed. I don't know. But with this driver rating, or in the league I'm racing with this driver rating, you usually set up your cars. I mean, would be silly if you wouldn't have done it. So, and I'm catching up again on the dirty driver, on the C8 driver. And as you can see, he isn't really that good. Look at this, what he's doing. I don't get it. And somehow this car isn't usually when any car goes sideways or something like this, as you saw before, like me turning all over the track, will become a ghost. But the other car just slammed right into the side of my car. So I had to take the full throttle on the grass, and fortunately I haven't lost the car. But yeah, this won't be the last time my game unsettles. Let's get to lap number 3. Still, the leader is gapping me so hard, but well, he's kind of a dirty driver as well. Unfortunately, there are pretty many of them. I've done like 15 recordings previously before this race, and it's like every time I'm qualifying at like around P2 to P7 in this area, and it doesn't matter how clean I drive or how much space I'm giving everyone, they are always like giving me some bumps and I'm spinning, or they push me completely wide, which is, yeah, pretty bad in this game yet, because as you can see, the guy hasn't received any penalty yet. He's obviously ramming so many other cars and is driving so dirty, and in my opinion he should get some penalties, but well, Forza Motorsport is still full of bugs, like for example in the single player. If I'm tuning my car, I would just want to save it, and I'm going to dive bomb. And he's trying to perform the L switcheroo, but it won't work this time. But since we are 4 cars here, this will be a horrible mayhem, because they are all pretty, well, let's say not the safest drivers or the most confident drivers. Yes, but I'm really willed to stay in front of the C8 Corvette. I just want to get like at least a second or a second and a half gap to him, so you won't be able to ram me off again. And yeah, the Porsche and me, we are both struggling for grip at the corner exit out of turn 1. It's actually a pretty strange corner. It's satisfying when you get it right, but yeah. And something I've experiencing in this flat out section many times. All the other cars are quite slow in my opinion. I think the reason is that they are all using a lot of aero. So with me in the slipstream with nearly no aero, of course I'm catching up with them. So that's a tip if you tune cars yourself. Use a bit less slipstream. You're gaining so much time on flat out parts or on straights or something like this. It's just amazing in my opinion. A bit unrealistic, but it's fine. So back in P3 from P2 to P9 to P3 is good. I'm not sure if someone has left the game who was in front of me. I'm not sure at all, because I felt like I was even one position further in the back, but yeah, I take it anyways. So going into the last corner in a few seconds, Porsche is going wide. Maybe he was trying to kick off the Corvette, but unfortunately he wasn't able to do it. Yeah, but we are all for clean driving, I guess. So finished in P3, getting my revenge on the C8. And I mean, this guy came from P10 or something like this. Oh, there were actually 22 cars. Didn't expect this. And they're the top 3. Me, of course, the R8, and the Dirty Driver Corvette. And that's me. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time.